my big sister. Organizing, it's in my DNA. My inbox is always zero. I've got to go to number 10 Downing Street to meet the Prime Minister. Meeting people earning 6 figures, 7 figures. It humanizes the experience. They don't have two heads. Entrepreneurship is a lifelong form of experimentation. You don't want to be a bad guy, but then you're being a bad guy to yourself. Ghana has been a huge part of my drive. If people don't know you exist, how would they find you to give you opportunity?
You've got to not shut down the possibility before other people do it for you.
To exist in my zone of genius, okay? When I say the girls are outside, the girls are outside, and it just makes me so happy because you are the subtotal of the people that you surround yourself with.
Welcome to Coffee and Oysters, the London Business Babe podcast, where we get you together with business tips that actually work and let you know where it's worth tapping your oyster. My name is Frances Adair Matthews. I'm founder of the Notion Bar and a certified Notion consultant, where I get my clients together with personalized productivity systems built in Notion. There is no need to suffer with Notion alone. Every month I host the Big Notion Energy Academy, where we unpack Notion's latest releases, and you can ask me, a certified Notion expert, your burning questions. Details in the show notes. This week's been an interesting one because I've really had to learn how to manage my capacity. I am being forced into using my own Notion system to plan out different start times for certain projects after realizing the tough way what my capacity actually is for client work without burning out. The past few weeks have been horrible, and I've had to be very realistic with letting myself know how many clients I can have at one time, which is really interesting. A tool that I've been obsessed with is actually Linktree. I'm really into Linktree at the moment because they have a lot of features. Like, I love the analytics, and I also love the podcast function they have. So if you click on the podcast, my Linktree that's on my personal TikTok and Instagram, it opens up and you can listen to the podcast. And I've been getting some conversions from that, which is really cool. So I'm really excited with that as well, because on the paid Linktree plan, I can actually replace a couple of subscriptions that I'm paying for. It's got a social media scheduler on there, and it's got the many chat function where if you reply with this word in the comments, it'll send you a DM. I've got all of that under one paid Linktree subscription, so I can cancel, well, technically 3 subscriptions, because ManyChat makes you sign up per account. I'm saving money and it's good. We're just happy out here. I would have actually used Notion for my link in bio, but for whatever reason, TikTok just hates any kind of link in bio that has the word Notion in it. No idea why, but you know what, whatever. But on a separate note, I'm really excited to see this podcast grow and just all of the response and everything from everyone. And yeah, we're going on this journey and we're not going to stop because, as I said in the first episode, there are nearly 100,000 estimated female-led businesses in London, and we all have a story to tell. Hey London Business Babe, this community is built for us and by us to ungatekeep your next move and life in the city. If you never want to miss out, subscribe to the Substack where episodes will land straight in your inbox. Plus, every other Monday, you'll get a chance to feature on the show by shouting yourself out in the Manifest Monday email. You never know who's listening. Details in the show notes. Now, grab a cup of coffee or your favorite beverage and let's get into today's interview.
This week's London Business Babe is Vesta Adofo. She is the founder of the Admin Cure and award-nominated content creator. Vesta has almost 2 decades of administrative and business strategy experience, which she brings to her clients through her virtual support agency. Her goal is to help founders, CEOs, stay in their zone of genius and get rest while she takes care of the essential business backend. Welcome to the show. How's your week going?
It's good, and thank you so much for having me. I remember when we met, and now we're here having a pod. My week is going great. It was my birthday on Monday, and I said, yeah.
Oh,
Yes, it was amazing.
happy birthday.
Thank you. I even still have balloons here. I literally brought them with me. And I actually carried them on London transport. You guys are going to see it was my birthday. So my week has been great. It's been sunny. I've been going for hot girl walks because it's hot outside, and my week has been amazing.
Yes. Oh, I love that. And you booked this on Monday as well, right? So you like, it's my birthday. I'm gonna book the
Let's
podcast.
go.
I love
Let's
that.
go. Let's celebrate this new age by showing up, being visible, and being available to help people who need our support.
Yes, I love that. So we've chatted a bit before, but after digging around, I'm quite fascinated by your journey. You started out as a science girly and then transitioned into admin support. How did that all work?
I'm a big sister. So organizing, sorting things out, making sure everybody's taken care of, it's in my DNA. Okay. And as you said, I'm a science girly. I have a degree in biological sciences, so I understand systems. I know, very nerdy. When I wear my glasses, you would know. You could tell. You can tell this girl likes wearing a lab coat. In the lab, you've got all your samples and stuff going systematically to make sure you do the test, the results, putting it in the database, making sure patients like my brain works in systems. And then I came into admin because I'm great at connecting dots and supporting people. I think one of the joys I get is ensuring that my consultants and patients have the optimal environment to get what they need. So my doctors and professionals are getting the resources to do their jobs. Patients are also very happy because they came into a system that supported them, allowed them to get the healthcare they need. So through that, I realized that as soon as I enter a place, I know what's not where it's supposed to be. I sort it out so that everybody can have an incredible experience. And it kind of led me down the rabbit hole. And I also award nominated content creator. I was just trying to get like London friends, okay? I had gone newly natural and I heard the girls were outside. So I'm like, let me go outside and see what's happening. And then because my brain works in systems, when you give me a product, I would come take pictures, upload it and then write a blog about it. So
Mhm.
then I started getting like PR, people want me to write for them. And I'll do it within the week because my brain is still in the lab. You've got the sample, you process it, you upload it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, and that's how I
I
came
love
to,
that.
and I realized I'm really good at it. People are calling me for lunches and like, Vesta, how do you combine your corporate girly work with social media? This comes easily to me because I've been trained in that system. And that's the how the admin cure came together. As you see, it has admin and cure in the name.
Oh, I love
My goal is to provide the same environment where founders, CEOs, professionals have all that stuff that they don't like to do. People don't like admin apparently. I'm like, my inbox is always zero. Okay. Like I do not have 1,455 emails. No, no, no. It's done. And they have folders. And the people go into folders as soon as they hit like I am systemized like that. Oh,
Yeah.
that's it's like all my powers combined. And I'm very nerdy, so I make a lot of Disney cartoon references. Like
Love that. As you should.
all my powers combined, and I am Captain Planet. So basically, God, I just ate myself.
So it was like Captain Planet.
He's a
He's the
hero. Yeah,
hero.
exactly. Basically,
Yeah.
all those bits of my life, being a science girly, administrator, and one little secret is even through my journey as an administrator, I got to go to number 10 Downing Street to meet the Prime Minister. And that's like, oh,
Okay.
I was just very nerdy and passionate about what I do. So when it got to the time to select people, like, oh,
Yeah.
Vex, I'm like, what do you ever gonna go? It's like, yeah, you love this. So when you do your job and people realize you're really passionate about it, they end up you become like the source, you become the expert. And I decided that I'm
Yeah.
going to provide this as a service to people that are overwhelmed. They hate them and people don't like it. And I love it. So give it to me so that you can go be like a content creator, be outside. If you're a founder, go be do that nerdy thing that you started the business for and not be overwhelmed and give up. So basically that's that.
And so was Downing Street through like your content stuff or your admin cure stuff or like your corporate girly stuff? Where did that come
My
from?
corporate girly stuff as an administrator. So I work for
Uh,
Great Ormond Street Children's
okay.
Hospital. And
Oh, are they?
I was just doing the admin stuff because I got the role from being a science girly. And my boss went, wait, you haven't been trained as an administrator. I'm like, no.
It just comes to
No. And my boss went, wait, you know how in facilities they have apprenticeships and diplomas you can do on the job? And they go like, why don't you just get certified on it? So whilst I was doing it, oh, she's already good at it. She's already like doing the thing. We're selecting people from major entities in London and wherever. So Vesta, you're gonna go to Downing Street with us. I'm like, okay, thank you. I'll go. And I went, it was so cool. It was ages ago, and David Cameron was Prime Minister then. I know it
Okay.
was ages ago.
I was like, oh,
Girl,
that's
that was a long time ago because we've had a lot of political after, and we met
before the good old days when you go
girl
to France with you.
before all the stuff that's happening now. He was so cool and quite tall as well. I was shocked. And then,
Huh,
yeah, he was quite
fair
tall. And
enough.
then George Osborne also came around. He's like, hi, I live next door because there's 10 and 11. And cool,
Yeah.
like, these are normal people. And that's what I like about meeting big people. You realize they're human and they're just like trying to do their thing. So basically, that's how I got to go to
Yeah.
Downing Street.
Yeah, I hear it. And so starting up the admin here, how did you go around getting your first clients?
My first client came because she realized I was in the country. I am also from Ghana as well. So when they found out I was doing that, because they know I'm a
Yeah.
corporate, I'm very good with admin and stuff. And that's how I got my lights are falling.
Oh no.
Content creator life. Yeah, she found me on Instagram because she already knew me from my content creator days and realized I was doing this and we started
Mm,
working together. So just referrals from my past glories, basically. Yeah.
and then, so you work with a lot of scaling creatives. What are some like random things that you help out with that people wouldn't think of? What are some of the more run of the mill things that you take off of people's plates so they can focus on their zone of genius?
I think it's not random, but people would like me to go and research all the places that they've been mentioned on a particular website like Reddit because they want to use that as information to make a decision. So that's literally data collection and analytics. I think I've heard that people have been mentioning my brand and my name on this platform. Can you go and scour this whole place and go find out what they're saying and send me screenshots? Those are the kind of things that I get to do. Yeah.
Lovely.
One of
I wonder how, like, would AI make that easier now
I
at all?
I think AI would help, but also it's depending on the parameters you put in, it may pull
Mm,
everything. So it's always good to have the look. People
yeah.
think it's random, but people will send you a long thing on voice notes and you have to transcribe it. I've had to call counsel to confirm if they can do a particular sort of advertising. Should they be in this particular area versus being this because they're trying to obviously increase visibility about something they're launching. If I'm on this part of the road, would I be fined or do I have to pay for it? And who should I mention that confirm that if I do this, it has to be done this particular way?
Yeah.
People do not realize the importance of renaming their files when they take pictures at an event. We met at the first walk walk and you took all the pictures, it's sitting in your gallery. They're
Yeah.
uploading people. When I walk people through that, they go like, oh, I didn't know I could do. I'm like, that would help you find that content later very easily.
Yeah.
So I advise people, for example, when you're on your way to create an album on your phone, when you take
Hmm.
all the pictures on your commute back, don't go on TikTok. Just select all the
Just
pictures, the media, everything that you did, and move it to the album. And then create a folder in your Google Drive.
I'm just like right with this down.
And then
You know what? I always have the best intentions to do that, but after the event, I'm like, we're just gonna scroll
it's
through.
become like a routine for me. So basically, when my team is creating content for me, they already know that, and it's in folders per year. I'm very systemized. I name it the way somebody. So I'm very SEO based when I'm naming my folders and my things. So if you look for it, and you can't remember, you just type it in the search bar in your Google Drive and it will pop up because that's how people think. That's basically SEO. The folder, create another folder with the same name in your Google Drive. And then as soon as you get home, just select all and upload. Maybe you're doing your skincare, everything would upload. So if you have somebody like the admin cure behind the scenes that's going to optimize that content for you, you've already done the work where you've already sent it to us. So basically, I can go
Mhm.
in whenever Vesta goes to an event, she wants us to do like a hi, come with me to go to this, blah, blah, blah. And I've already kind of created the content because you have a template. So the next day, your content is out because you already supplied it or you already had the systems. And that's basically how I work.
A
Yeah,
dream.
basically.
Incredible. And so you have a team
Mhm,
surrounding
mhm.
you, right? How did you go about growing a team?
In the same way, someone will find me based on my skill set. That's how I found the team. I am the founder of the admin cure, but that doesn't mean I should do everything in the admin cure. I practice what I preach. If you're
Yeah.
going to delegate your stuff to my team, I have delegated stuff to my team as well. I understand your journey as a founder. So I have admin support because it's admin, creative, and tech. I have someone on admin. I have a team on creative because there's video, websites, and the super graphic designer on the team. He'll create you the whole 9 yards, like brand outlook, applications, the whole 9 yards. And then I have somebody on tech as well because I realized people were asking me, oh, how can I have cybersecurity and all that stuff? So based on conversations I have when I go networking, that's how I sort out people that will be on my team.
Did you feel like you had to develop any new skill sets yourself? Because you have to delegate now and manage what other people are doing. Did you see any growth in yourself in areas that you maybe weren't so strong in before?
Yeah, definitely. I had to fully step into being CEO. Basically, I had to get comfortable with being like, because founder is like, this is my idea, we're doing it. CEO is like, this, I also have to exist in my zone of genius and keep my creative business strategy hat on instead of going in there to do the little thing. So I had to get coaching, I had to get mentoring on easing out of that corporate girly, the virtual assistant who does everything mindset into you high level. You are supposed to, obviously you're supposed to know what's happening on the ground, but a huge percentage of the time you are bird's eye view and making sure all the deliverables are being done instead of, oh, I can do this. Yes, we know you have a lot of experience in it, but you have to snap out of it. And one of the books that really helped me, a few books actually, I hope you don't mind if I mention them here, as we should all be
Of course, this is.
yeah, we should all be billionaires by Rachel Rogers.
I've been listening to her
Brilliant.
podcast.
I remember we had the chat. Girl, go listen to Rachel
Yeah.
immediately. We Should All Be Millionaires by Rachel Rogers. Atomic Habits was also quite key because then you have to ask like who you're trying to, the habits have to support what you're doing. And the last one, which I think I read every quarter, is The E Myth Revisited by Michael Ebert Gerber, because basically he says people decide to be an entrepreneur, they have an entrepreneurial seizure, right? So basically, you're doing a job and you start resenting whoever you're working with because you're like, oh my God, I'm the one doing all the work. So let me go do that as a business. But you are just a technician. And that's what you're really good at. So for me, my technician stance is I'm an administrator, I'm a science girly. But when you decide to be an entrepreneur, you have to have a different set of skills that allows you to keep and hold the business. And then there's a third personality that you have to develop, which is you have to be a manager. The manager is like, is this going to be sustainable? Do I have the funds to support this? How am I marketing and stuff, like keeping the ship stable. The entrepreneur is like, oh, I have all these great ideas, let's go do it. And the technician still has to exist because the technician is the one who's actually providing the service. And that book helps you figure out that whatever you're doing, you have to break down all the services into roles and then make a plan to replace each role by somebody who is very good at it so it can exist as the high level. So those are some of the tools that I used in learning that I had to relearn to know that I'm building a business. It's not just me providing a service. Those are kind of like the mindset changes I had to go through to sustain and establish that there's going to be a long-term legacy business instead of something I'm just doing because I had an entrepreneurial seizure. I heard people getting paid, so now I'm going to establish the business. So those are some of the tools that I used.
Incredible. And you are a science girly, so experimentation is very much just in how you think and do
Yep.
things. As you were building out your team, was there ever a point where you're like, oh, almost like you're experimenting with things that would work and like didn't work? Was there any point you're like, oh, we tried it this way, this isn't going to work, so you have to pivot towards this now?
Yep. It's literally happened in the last 3 to 6 months. Oh
Okay.
yeah, I think entrepreneurship is a lifelong form of experimentation. It is. It is.
It's
Sometimes you try to do things in a particular way, but you realize it's not suitable to your temperament, your experience, or even your location or your environment. So there has been times where I hired someone who says they can do A, B, and C, and then after 2 to 6 weeks, you realize that it was all talk. If you do not know how to establish boundaries and speak up for yourself, you would keep them in the role for longer because you don't want to be a bad guy, but then you're being a bad guy to yourself. So basically, yeah, it's happened to me. I think I've lost count of how many people I have worked with and have released. And there are people that have been with me before it becoming the admin cure. I had people supporting me in different things. Some people have been with me for years, and some don't last with me for more than 2 months. Now, my cutoff point is 6 weeks. I'll give you the first 4 weeks to see if you're serious. And if week six, I realize,
Mm,
oh, we are not a good match. Thank you. It was lovely. I appreciate that you tried to support me, but goodbye.
yeah, but at some point you gotta cut it off before you dig yourself into a hole.
And it's for both of you, it's for the goodness of both of you, because then you're lying to them that you're good and you're lying to yourself, which keeps you,
Mhm.
because then your brain starts to accept that, oh, you think this is good enough, and then that becomes like a foundation for other things. So, no, you have to say
Yeah.
goodbye.
And I found in situations that I've seen other people in similar to that, you don't have to do it in a horrible way. I can see that maybe your skill sets aren't suited to this thing. Maybe try something else, you know? Like, this wasn't a good match this time. It's totally
It
fine. You
is.
don't have to be horrible
It
about
is.
it at all.
I think it's because we may have experienced or seen a horrible way that it happened to someone. So we think we're going to exhibit that. But if you're a good person, you can release somebody in a nice way. I have a lot of my ex team members that still follow me, share my stuff. And well,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's just maybe because of past experiences. So we assume that's how the person's going to feel. But it's for their own good. And sometimes they go and do things that would actually suitable for, and they come and thank you for it.
Yeah. That's how I ended up doing what I do now.
Oh, you have to tell me.
I used to be a project manager. I have a very systematic brain. And so I was a project manager for a Shopify agency. And I was very good at organizing things. I hate chasing people. My manager was like, thank you for all of the processes that you set up. They're incredible, but I can see you're not happy. Do you want to do this? And I was like, honestly, no. Handed in my probation there. Now I run my own ocean consultancy. So you know what? You got to let people go if it's not the right fit for their own good.
Yeah, let them go and let them be happy, and we're all happy. And then next time we meet, there's no hard feeling.
Okay, and so I'm actually quite interested in your Ghana connection as a fellow Ghanaian myself.
Our babes in the house.
How do you think that has affected your journey, being able to see things from two cultural viewpoints? How do you think that's affected your ability to scale and grow your business?
Ghana has been a huge part of my drive. People wonder why I keep going back. I could go to any country and I'm going to do like, 40 countries, that kind of 2 years, that kind of thing. But in Ghana, everybody has an entrepreneurial spirit because we do not have social systems that support us like we have in the UK. You have to go outside and look for money. In Ghana, I see people by the roadside, women who have established businesses. When I'm literally going to buy food from like the lady on the corner, I will ask her questions because I'm curious. And she'll be like, oh, yeah.
Mhm.
And she fries eggs. She does eggs and bread and tea. And she goes, with this particular
Yep.
business, I put my child through high school and the university and I built a house. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, yeah. And then you kind of do and again, because we have systematic brains, it's like, oh, yes, if she sells this amount of that kind of thing. The Guardian,
Yeah.
especially Guardian women, highly entrepreneurial, very driven.
Yes.
And that has been a huge part of my drive. Whenever I go to Ghana, I realize I have a lot of privileges here. The light is on the whole time. My
Mm.
internet is stable. I could get a lot of things for cheaper quality. Even your location decides how easy it is to get paid. Like when you're in Ghana, I don't know if it's changed, but you can't establish some sort of payment links like PayPal in the UK because you're literally in a different IP zone, right? You can get paid with
Mm.
PayPal, the whole 9 yards, okay? And that's why I keep going back. When you come, like, you realize you have all these privileges, so move. No, get up, don't be sitting around. So whenever I get networking opportunities, I am outside because I would not get those opportunities if I was home. And that has been a huge part of my drive. When you go back home, you're seeing your friends who may have lesser access to facilities doing the most. When you come back, don't be sitting around and be like, oh my God, I'm on Netflix. Yes, I'll watch my Netflix shows and stuff, but like I'm outside. Like, let's go. And that is comes from being from Ghana as well.
And so we met because you were outside.
We're
So
outside. We're outside.
would you say that being outside is something that legitimately helps you move the needle for you in your business in terms of networking? And is there anything else like that you felt moves the needle for you in your business that other people might not recognize or think of immediately?
Yeah. Being outside had me meet you, and I'm on your podcast right now. We met in March. I'm on your podcast on the 1st of May. Your audience was likely to get more podcast invitations, and that comes from being outside and not just being outside, but being present when you're outside and communicating with people and
Yes.
connect. Because you know me, as soon as I meet you, hi, are you on LinkedIn? Let's connect. And then when somebody messages you on LinkedIn, you're like, hi, would you like to have a coffee chat? Get the coffee chat booked. Do not just sit on it. And then it goes from there and keeps going and going. Like this morning, hi Frances, we're meeting this afternoon. And then it's booked. So being outside, I think it was Michelle Obama and even Obama have said it. When you're sitting outside and you think that lots of people are very super high level. But as I said, with going to number 10 and meeting the prime minister, everybody is human. So being outside and meeting very big or highly established CEOs and all that stuff, people are earning 6 figures, 7 figures, who are people I'll see on TV. It humanizes the experience and make me realize I can do anything because they don't have two heads. This is something I tell my best friend, like that person doesn't have two heads. So if that person doesn't have two heads, that means that I, with also the same similar one head as them, can do things. And it's allowed me to establish a lot of connections. Being outside has led me to places that I never thought I would be.
Mm,
I started off networking. I've been to Google multiple times. At this point, if I go to Google again, they should just give me a desk. I've been to TikTok, I've been to Meta. I was at AWS on Tuesday. I was supposed to be at Google at the same time as
oh, yeah.
AWS. Which one are we going to? And that's just from being outside and being on mailing lists and responding and showing up and having conversations and connecting with people. Being outside got me my first clients and meeting people connected me to more referrals who are now my clients. That interaction, not just from being online, but being in person and people hearing how passionate you are about what you do and how it creates change, allows you to establish deeper connections and helps you grow your business or connects you to your next opportunity. So, girl, when I tell you I'm outside, even to the point where I told my bestie, who's also, she's an incredible person, she's an author manager, who's also outside because we're outside because we're introverts, right? And we're outside.
Oh,
Yes, because like we've done the research. I was invited to an award ceremony last November. I had been dreaming about
amazing.
going since they started. To think that being outside and showing that I was outside, they found my personal email. That's why I know they were looking for me. My business email is everywhere. They found my email
Yeah.
and invited me, and I was screaming like it was proper. Hi, Miss Vesta Adofo. We are gladly inviting you to the ABSC. Girl, when I tell you I was screaming, I had to get glammed up. Okay, I had to do hair, makeup, the whole 9 yards. That's just
Amazing.
from people see you. If people don't know you exist, how would they find you to give you opportunities?
And I think the guts to put yourself out there is definitely a skill that has to be developed. It's a muscle that you need to practice, and eventually it just becomes easier and easier.
You're right. Sometimes when I'm going outside, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
I don't want to go. Okay. I'm like, oh my God, why did you book this? I think it was Cody Sanchez or one of those entrepreneurial people on one of the podcasts.
Okay.
Either her mum or someone, or even Rachel goes, get on the train, you can always go back home. And then she also goes, go into the place but knows the exits. Okay. So I will go into the place, but I'll like, this is how I'm gonna disappear if I need to. So when you go there, I give myself like talk to 2 to 3 people, and if we vibe, like you know how we vibed. Do you remember how we actually formed a little
Yeah.
group? And when
Yeah.
we're doing business
It was
strategy
great.
sessions, you remember? And the lady who works for that like
Yes.
tech company supporting each other in the moment. And we had just met. It's just about showing up, being yourself, being free. Sometimes they are shy. You realize somebody just needed you to smile at them and help them and open up. It's a muscle. I think I've gotten to the point where I'm like, oh, they're happy to have me here.
You've got to not shut down the possibility before other people do it for
Yeah,
you. You've got to be open to the idea that everyone wants that,
yeah,
basically.
yeah. It is a muscle.
Off the introvert day, I have limited extrovert tendencies or capacity. Every Friday, I make sure that I have one thing to go to the following week. If I haven't booked something already, I find something on Eventbrite just so that I do one thing. And then my KPI is that I need to connect with any more than that. Perfect. But it's been so valuable for me because it helps me conserve my energy, but I'm still systematically being outside and meeting people.
It makes sense. I think you're on the right path if you systemize it like that. And we've met and we're hanging out, so you're doing well.
And so, in terms of as a business person, would you say that admin cure is your main source of income, or do you have other streams of income that you rely on or are planning to build out in the future?
I do have another stream of income, and that came from networking.
Oh, amazing.
So I was curious about how to elevate the experiences for my clients and where's the best way to find how to, do a bougie, luxurious experience and go to the independent hotel show. Like, be the best place. I went there, and one of the tech companies gave me this ability to sign on residential Airbnb stuff. I get commissions based on that. In typical Vesta format, I'm not doing it myself. I have a team that handles it and they get commissions from my commissions.
Love that.
I have to exist in my zone of genius, okay? I'm not going outside to do that. There are people who love to go around and talk to people. I'm an introvert. You go do it and I'll give you a commission. So basically that's it. That's one of my.
So it's like staff for the people who turn over Airbnbs and you onboard them. Is that all that
So
is?
the goal of the platform is to increase your accommodation or people using your facility by 30 to 40%. And by the way, shameless plug if you know anybody you
Okay.
like. So basically, if I help you or if I onboard you on the system and they integrate with your hotel, Airbnb, hostel, whatever, people to
Yeah.
find you and it skips the bookings.com, hotel.com commissions, you
Oh,
pay a subscription per month instead of commissions an affiliate to get you on board so
okay.
that you get this particular system sorted. So that's another stream of income of mine.
I love that. There are so many ways to make money as
Girl,
well,
there
isn't there?
is. And you have to go outside for people to tell you.
Okay. So to wrap up this section, thank you so much. For anyone who is listening on a similar journey, like if you could start again, is there anything that you would do different just to like fast track the process?
I would document the journey as I went along so that my base grows with me and sees how I do it behind the scenes instead of waiting to have a perfect
Mm,
thing to show. That's something I'll do differently because sometimes we underestimate how good we are because we want to have this image of how we show up to people immediately. We do not realize that even all those steps help establish your expertise and show people that you're growing. Something I'll do like try as much as possible to show up as I establish the things. It would help people like, oh my God, she knows what she's doing. She's really here, that kind of thing, and provide support. So that's something I'll do different.
amazing. And then a fun question. When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Interestingly, it has nothing to do with this. This got me in so much trouble because I used to stain my shorts and my outfits. I wanted to be a detective, okay? So I used to carry around the pens and paper so that I can catch crime happening and documents everything. Like I was there and I got the number. I think maybe I was watching too many shows, and I was inspired by Nancy Drew,
Oh
Valley
yeah.
High Squad, where they're finding out mysteries and stuff. Scooby Doo. So basically, I wanted to be like a detective or somebody who found out things with my magnifying glass, going through like seeing evidence. Girl,
That's 100% related to what you do. You're going into situations and you're looking for clues as to what's not quite right and trying to piece everything together to make it better.
oh,
That's literally what you do.
okay.
You're an operational detective.
Yes, and I think I'll be happy that we grew up to be where we actually get paid for it, so we can buy more cute things. Thank you for that. In my mind, I'm like, the only memory I have of that is my stained shorts with like red pens and markers, and my grandma is like, "What is this?" Because it's stained and you can't get it out. Thank you so much for helping me with that.
Hope you're enjoying the show. Would love to hear what you're thinking. Drop a comment and share your thoughts. Even better, if you're loving the show, take 2 seconds to rate us 5 stars wherever you get your podcast. It really helps other people find us. And if you want to be a guest, details in the show notes on how to sign up. Now, let's jump back in.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing with us your business journey. Now we're going to go more into things that make your life easier and happier. I always like to kick off this section with music. Do you have, I like to call it a walk up song or a song that makes you feel good? I'm currently building a Spotify playlist. You have to do that when this goes out.
Okay, so you want to know my Spotify playlist, like something that I recommend.
A song that makes you feel good.
I do have multiple playlists that depends on my mood. Interestingly, I watched Transformers 2 weekends ago, and I am a very like when I'm watching a movie, I listen to the score and then I pick a song, usually when there's a fight scene.
Oh,
And there was this song called "On My Soul"
oh,
by,
okay.
and that has been my hype song
Oh,
for the
yeah.
past 2 weeks. And I think it'll make a good gym track. One of my favorite
Mm.
songs, obviously, because I'm a Beehive member. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
I'm a Beehive member like Beyonce. I have Grown Woman on my repeats.
Oh,
I have do the
yes.
whole dance in my room. If I feel like I'm not happy, I'm a grown up. I can do whatever I want, and then I do the whole dance routine in my room. Like that traditional thing that she does. So, "Grown Woman" by
Yeah.
Beyonce. "I'm That Girl" by Beyonce. On the Renaissance album.
Yes.
That's on my soul. That has got me hyped for the past 2 weeks. So it's like
Oh,
I would play it. Somebody said I'll play the song until the artist comes out of the like the track and asks for water. Like if I love a track, I'll play for like a whole month and I'm like, get it away from me. But definitely Beyonce, "I'm That Girl" and "Grown Woman." Those would always get me hyped.
oh, okay. Yeah. Also, big favorites of mine. I'm gonna listen to the ego.
Yeah.
Do you have any personal policies that keep you grounded, or just like steady? For example, one of mine is I don't take calls before 10 a.m. because I'm not awake. So do you have anything like that or like I only go to one networking event per week? Do you have anything like that in you that keeps you balanced?
I'll only answer emails within working hours that I would establish with you. My phone is always on do not disturb.
Fair,
Like
fair play.
because I don't know what happened. One other thing is I'm in bed by 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Even so, that means if I went
Okay.
networking, I'm leaving the place by 8:30.
Mm.
My in bed is between half nine and 10 o'clock. But by 10 o'clock, I should be zonked out because my eyes will always
Oh,
open between
okay.
4 a.m. and 5 a.m. Like I went to boarding school in Ghana, so it's just how my body has been wired. So it's like I'm asleep by 10. So whatever calls and stuff that we're doing,
Okay.
it's done. We're done by 9 o'clock. Even my bestie will be talking to me. She's like, "Yep, I know it's time for you to go to bed." It's true. It's time for me to go to bed. I love you, but we'll talk later. I'm in bed by 9.
That
By 10 o'clock, I'm asleep.
I'm so impressed by that. I'm definitely a night owl.
I can't do it.
And then when it comes to style, do you have anything in your wardrobe that you feel like is your uniform? Like pieces that you go back to that you just like, put on, you're like, I look good.
Personally, I've been trying to establish a new style lately because my body has changed. So I'm a
Okay.
Pinterest girly, so I have a board and it's called the body. So basically, I'm changing my wardrobe. I would always have some gold earrings on because gold complements my skin. I check my undertones and all that stuff. Colors that will look good on me. Jewel tones, soft colors, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
My hair has to be simple. As you can tell, we have a nice little blunt situation because I need to serve you this
Yeah.
face, okay? Gold earrings. My nails are always done and nice and short in a tone that matches my skin. I'm typing a lot, so it's nice to look at. And because I'm a gym girly and I box, I can't have long nails.
Oh,
Yes, girl, it's so good.
even though they're in gloves, you can't have long nails when you box.
Because they would flex, because your nails would long nails and they flex, and I got like those little blood thing because it bruised
Oh
exactly,
no.
and so I had to succumb to doing short nails. My nails have to be done nice and pretty, gold earrings because they look good on me. And we're just changing the wardrobe up because it doesn't matter what kind of body you have in a particular moment. It's always great to dress for what you look like so that you feel confident. And I think that's a good investment. You can check on TikTok, you can do research, you can actually go for a stylist consultation, which is a good investment because then you show up confidently. So those are the kind of things that I do.
Are there any brands that are capturing your attention across fashion, beauty, skincare, anything like that at the moment?
So
And then do you have any that are your go-tos, like in heavy rotation when it comes to beauty as well?
so beauty, maybe because I've been a content creator, I know that kind of like in the back, they're all the same. It's just good branding. So I'm not really fast on the brand. So my skin has House Labs because I love Lady Gaga and it looks good on me. For hair, because of my nerdiness, I'll make something up. But for beauty, it starts with how I smell. So I'm a Liberty's
Yay.
girly. Okay, I'll have candles in my room. And when
Okay.
Liberty started releasing their new perfumes, I was in there with them. Okay, I love Tudor. They started releasing an oud range, and I like Vine Thief. So if you're getting me a present, get me Zephyrine or get me Vine Thief. They smell incredible. For beauty, smelling good changes my mood. So I always have samples on me. Like if you come to my room, there's skincare on my desk with lip gloss, there's skincare by my bed with lip gloss, and there's perfume everywhere. I like Lush, Let the Good Times Roll because I smell like caramel popcorn.
True.
Just knowing when somebody hugs you, it elevates that experience for them. And
True.
even I can smell myself and go like, ooh, I smell so good. But for my clothes, I am spoilt because I have a very incredible seamstress tailor in my life. She knows my style. She sews it and she
Mm,
ships it to me in the UK because then it fits better.
nice.
Because with girlies and stuff, sometimes
Yeah.
it's different when you go to the shops. So at the moment, I do not have, oh, this is a brand that would do it for me. I literally have in
Mm,
my back pocket like somebody who's literally making me incredible outfits that will suit my body because I've been measured and then it's coming to me. So yeah, have I answered your question or did I miss anything?
yeah, absolutely. I also just love that last comment where we back home in Ghana. We say seamstress, but if in the Western world, like that's haute couture, you know? Like, let's not like downplay it.
Mm-hmm,
The
mm-hmm,
sort of custom tailoring, custom
mm-hmm.
dresses. But seen as that's just like normal, but
Yes,
here that is so
yes.
like highbrow.
When I went to Ghana, I was so exhausted. I didn't go see her. I just sent her a style. She bought the cloth, and she would literally go to the market buy because I've done a little Canva thing like this the color or this the outfit and she buys it and she will talk to you. It's haute couture, getting things tailored and made. I count that as a privilege and then she'll just put it on DHL or whatever mail system and ship it to me and I'll get fitted here. It doesn't even cost me as much as going to get like an outfit from Zara.
And so now let's transition to more tech side of things. You work in the admin industry operations. What are some of your favorite tech tools or apps that make your life easier?
Asana. I'm an Asana girly. I am transitioning into Notion
Okay.
because I have a Notion specialist on the call with me. So that is something that's happening very soon. I've always been obsessed with Notion because in my nerdy brain, I like how you can gamify outputs and it likes to see have that
Mhm.
conversation. But I have Asana, which is very good for me. Google Tools is very simple for me. I'm also using HubSpot as my CRM and for lead collection and for
Mhm.
my mailing list. And so those are the tech tools that I'm currently using. I'm trying to figure out how that could make my life better and my clients' life better. So I go to listen to these things and how they are changing industry and AI and stuff. And so on this, I'm always on a
Mm.
discovery journey. Asana, Google Drive, and all its tools from Gmail to Drive to Photos to Sheets to Documents to Google Meets, that whole infrastructure is my babe. And then I'm currently getting into HubSpot for bookings and newsletters, CRM, managing clients' accounts, and all that stuff.
Amazing. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about HubSpot recently, and like a lot of my clients, they're trying to see if they can connect Notion and HubSpot. That's probably one of my biggest requests in discovery calls at the moment. I'm always someone who's like, let's build it first, automate later. I haven't had a chance to play around with it yet, but it's interesting how much it's popping up
Mm-hmm.
at the
Mm-hmm.
moment.
Girl, do you
Yeah.
know that I saw the HubSpot office where we met?
You saw the HubSpot.
They were on the same
What do you
floor.
mean?
You know the floor that to do it. Yes,
Oh,
then
I was that.
they were there
Oh
because
my
they're
god,
on my radar. I'm
okay.
like, HubSpot is here. I need to come back here and have a chat with them because, as you said, it's become like I don't know if they're marketing more or something, but they're establishing a good ground in the market for CRMs and stuff. So yeah.
And then, what are some of your favorite? Well, you mentioned a podcast earlier, Rachel Rogers, and a few books earlier. But what are some of your go-to places to consume like good business content?
I'm usually on YouTube, Rachel Rogers, The Diary of a CEO. I really like Cody Sanchez because she's very simple in breaking down the business processes. Who else do I go to for business? Actually, that's it because I think I'm at a stage where I've consumed so much. It's just now time to take action.
Yeah.
I'm also on LinkedIn, so I go for a lot of these networking, end up becoming business conversations and all that. If I read your book and you're really good, I'll come and find your podcast. But some people don't have books. One person that really helped me with my mindset and productivity was Ali Abdul because he has a way
Mm.
of reading a book, breaking it down, and simplifying how to get from point A to point B, which is literally what we're trying to do for our clients. Move them from this point of pain to this point of relief. So I like Ali. And basically, those are the main people: Ali, uh, Stephen, and I'm in lots of WhatsApp groups, and people share lots of information, and I go
Mm.
networking. So basically, I think I know enough to do what needs to be done in the moment. Another business resource that I think people do not realize exists or sleep on, especially in the UK, is Digital Boost. When I started out and I was confused
Mm.
about a lot of things, it's free, by the way. You can go there and there's a lot of business people that have signed up and are just there to provide a solution for you. Just talking about it brought some more things back to mind. They have a variety of classes, accelerators, and all that stuff. There's also small business research. So SBREC, they're based in the City of London. Girl, they have every business registered in the UK on their database. So you can research and reach out to people based on how much they're making and their client base.
Okay.
I went there and I totally nerded out. And it's free membership and it's based literally
Huh.
like you know that bank poultry that area,
Oh yeah.
Bishopgate, and it's a really like central location. You go there, they're there to provide any information for you. Enterprise Nation also has a lot of free classes and all that stuff. Through that, I've even become a career advisor.
Okay, true.
Yeah. So
Oh wow.
yeah, I know, doing too much. Careers advisor. Careers where I'll be going to schools to, entrepreneurship is also a part of a career that any child can establish as well as being a corporate girly and stuff like that. So yeah, Enterprise Nation, Digital Boost, on Eventbrite you can sign up for so many things. LinkedIn is also a good resource because people,
Mhm.
that's how I got into so many programs. I met you through She Bites Back because I got a ticket from there
Yes.
to the first Woke War show, and that's how we met. She Bites Back is also a good resource. They always have monthly things that they're doing, and there's a lot of business girlies, founders,
Yeah.
corporate girlies there that can help you. And I think my last one would be the UK Black Business Show.
Oh yeah.
They have a lot of resources, they have monthly meetings, and a lot of information is shared there. And there's so many groups and WhatsApp groups I'm in, and you can just get so much intel from that. So yeah.
Incredible. Yeah, there are just so many of these little groups. They do have to find them,
Yes.
found, which is actually why for this podcast, a quick plug, all of the recommendations that guests make, whether it's places to go in London, which we'll talk about left and next, I store them all in a Notion database. So when someone asks me, like, what's good for this or that, it's a resource that people can just go to and be like, oh, there are all of these business groups that I can join.
Girl, I hope you're not doing it for free.
So it's part of the podcast experience, as the goal of the podcast is to ungatekeep London, but eventually we will be sponsored.
See, my right eye is twitching.
Or maybe I'll make you.
Girl, make it like a thing that people pay for access, like £9 or something.
Yeah.
Because it's information that they're going to
Yeah.
use to elevate themselves. But
Yeah, people do want to support the podcast. You can become a paid supporter in the Substack. Details in the show notes, where the directory also is.
Oh, hey again. Did you know there are roughly 100,000 London business babes out there? And we're on a mission to reach as many as possible. Enjoying what you hear? To support the hours of work that goes into making this special, you can either A, consider supporting directly as a paid monthly Substack subscriber to also unlock future exclusive content for less than a coffee and a croissant. B, any brands listening? We'd love to explore ways for you to be part of the journey. C, at the very least, on your next co-working date, tell a fellow London business babe about us. Details in the show notes. Now let's jump back in.
Thank you for giving us a little lowdown on your life. Now let's skip into London. Like, whereabouts in London are you? Like, northeast, southwest? Just so people know.
East London. I'm an East
Okay.
Ender.
Everything's in East.
Connections from the East are better.
So-
South London is good. I've lived in South London before.
It's
It's a
okay.
really, no, it's not okay.
Connection-wise, it's okay.
South London is Bay, but East London, the connections, incredible. Girl, I can be
Yeah.
at Heathrow. Right?
Yeah.
I'm out of the country like that, straight to Heathrow. I have a straight to Heathrow from this area.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm a South London babe, but I love it here. But also, just sometimes the connections are like sort
Oh.
of taking a bit longer than it should.
Sometimes there are places that don't trains. I'm like, why do you not want me to leave this area? What's going on?
I'm in Lewisham, so it's not too bad. But past a certain time, you're like, this is a bit sticky now.
Okay, Lewisham is not.
It's not bad at all. Just past a certain hour, but it's okay for you because your bedtime is 10. So past a certain hour, you are stuck.
I've even lived in
basically.
Hertfordshire before, and that was even peak because sometimes the train is straight 20 minutes. So my friends in London, like when we go for events, I'm in London, I'm King's Cross, and I'm at home with half an hour, and people in London are still trying to find a connecting train.
Do you have anything on your London bucket list which you're really like dying to do at the moment or go see?
I've been in that like boat situation. I haven't done the
And
O2 to be in the sky, and I want to be on the water. Okay,
elements.
exactly. I'm already on land. I walk a lot. I'm a park girly. You'd always find me in a park talking to a squirrel or two, or talking to the fish, the mallards, giving them bird feed.
I love the
I
mallards.
know, they're so cute. And they're like, ooh. But I need to be serious on this podcast. Anyway,
No.
and I need to be on the water. I went to Richmond Park. There's this guy on TikTok who walks from place to place. I need to go to some of these places that he goes to. He went to Richmond Park, and there were places that were like, wow, it looks like America. I need to go to those things. But what my friend and I have been doing is every month we try a restaurant of a different country. So we've done Japanese,
Ooh.
Mexican, Brazilian. The last thing we did was Brazilian. We've done
Okay.
Thai. Like we're just going country to country and tasting the indigenous foods
Love
flavor.
that.
So that's a little challenge that we set. This month we're doing British. So we're going for high tea. We both,
Ooh.
yes. I have to dress up. I'm so excited.
Nice.
I'll have bows in my head.
That's such a good idea.
Such a girl
I like
day.
that idea.
Yeah, such a girly pop day. And just like go sit down, smell good, and get served like tiny sandwiches and stuff. So basically, that's what I do. But I literally need to be, and you know those igloos that they have on the riverbank during like, I want to do that. Like those kind of very niche experiences.
Mhm.
I want to do that. I
Yeah.
want to be in the sky. I haven't even done the London Eye.
Yeah.
Have you?
20 years
Girl, we need
ago.
to go up. We need to go again. But I've done the London dungeons. Don't do the London dungeons.
Oh my,
That was
oh,
scary.
I ain't done
Don't
that.
do it. It was a scary screen it was fine. But yeah,
Uh,
definitely, O2 over like transport and do something on the Thames. I think those are key things I do.
mm,
And definitely do the London Eye. Sit there quietly, have a drink, and just watch the skyline whilst the sun is setting and just see how London looks.
ooh, sunset.
Exactly.
Sunset would be nice.
Exactly. Let's go.
You know what? Why not?
You know I'm gonna drop you a link immediately as a
You know what?
let's
You're
go,
like,
let's go.
I love it.
Yeah, I
I
do,
love it.
definitely.
We spoke about food briefly, but are there any favorite restaurants that you found in London, especially as you're hopping around different cuisines?
Why do you want me to drop this?
You're willing to let
Fine.
the people
I will
know about.
share because I know they have multiple branches in London. So you guys are not going to choke up where I go, okay? My favorite restaurant ever, and I'm delighted to share with you, bum, banana, Hare and Tortoise. They have multiple branches across London. The food is very affordable. In this cost of living crisis, you can have a drink, a meal, the portions are generous, and a starter. Maybe dessert too. There's one in Bloomsbury, there's one in Putney, there's some other branches, but they're called the Hare and Tortoise, and literally there's a queue at all.
Oh,
There's
okay.
the Hare and Tortoise. I take people. I have lunches there with people. I take people there all the time. I don't think there's anywhere else because the food is good. It's a bit
Mm,
crowded because it's
that's
Asian, but the food is amazing, spiced and seasoned,
oh,
basically. Exactly.
okay.
Exactly.
And are you like into the cafe scene at all?
At the moment, I don't have a favorite cafe. Um,
Mm,
I don't know. I don't have like a favorite cafe.
fair
I
enough.
would sit maybe in the British Library cafe because it's quiet and open space. I'm a nerd, so that whole books everywhere. Sometimes there's events in an exhibition. British Library is one of the most slept on places. Girl, they have so many events, exhibitions,
Fair.
things. I've learned so much.
Yeah.
The cafe there is cool. You can have a quiet room to think. Sometimes I need to keep my strategy hat on and get things done. The place is
Mm,
gorgeous and it's in the middle of town.
is that your co-working spot for you
It is.
then? Do you have any other favorite spots that you like to work out within?
Right around the British Library as well. When I'm feeling very bougie, I go to the St. Pancras Renaissance Hotel, their lobby, reception, food area. Girl, when I tell you
Mm,
sometimes they have a harpist and there's do 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 whilst you're having your cup of like your herbal tea with your laptop. It's just surreal. And
yeah.
the lighting, is very like old school Renaissance situations from
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. They have this floral horticultural arrangement. It's very cool to sit there and work. Their sofas are okay.
Yeah.
They have a butler at the front. It's very nice.
Oh,
It's
I need to add that to my list.
girl, you need to go and you could just pop out and get your
Yeah.
train from St. Pancras or King's Cross. And the other one, which is opposite to St. Pancras, which is like a more swanky version, is the Standard. And
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
it's a bit retro, and they have a library section, and people are just they're working.
Mm-hmm.
So, interestingly, when I want to step away and focus, you may find me in the British Library, St. Pancras Renaissance, or like the Standard. Just get a drink for
Mm-hmm.
now. Put your laptop up. It's just that change of environments and the
Mm-hmm.
kind of energy of people coming in and out. You may even order food when you're tired, or just go to a park nearby.
Yeah.
So those are the places. I do not have like a WeWork or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I was to
Yeah.
say go to this co-working space, it's the XY at Whitechapel.
Hmm. Oh, okay.
Sis,
I'm curious.
I went for
Why is it good?
I went for a Virgin startup event because networking, I'm outside. And I think they had the new founder, those diffusers, candles.
Oh,
And girl, it's like an oasis in the city because Whitechapel is very concrete, right? Enter the
yeah.
space and there is this whole like oasis. Like I was
Yeah. Fair.
I was ever to pay for a co-working space, this will be here.
This is
It
the one.
was I did so many selfies. It was lovely. I liked it. And they have a lot of co-working space. They have a lot of events where you can meet people. If I was ever to register, at the moment, from what I've seen, it will be that particular place in Chapel. It's called XY. I forget. It's a longer name, but if you type XY co-working
Okay.
space, you will find it. I was got like, I can't believe this is here because Whitechapel is very
Yeah.
concrete. There's nothing out here.
Concrete.
Yeah, so that would be the place.
Good to know. And one more hotel lobby for you around that St. Pancras area somewhere is the Pullman Hotel lobby. It's near the British line. I think it's on the way to the
I've
British
seen
line
it. It's
to King's
just beside.
Cross.
I've never entered that.
It's good. It's a good place to dip into, and they'll leave you alone. Sometimes there's a DJ there. I order my pot of tea and then go about my
No, you
business.
just grab a pot of
Or if
tea
you're
and a cup and leave you alone.
me, that is the hack because they don't know how much tea is left in that pot.
They just leave you alone.
So
Yeah, you're right. I'll plan a trip sometime in May. Thank you so much for the plug.
Don't worry if it's a lot to take in. All of the amazing tools, spots, and recommendations mentioned by our guests can be found in the Coffee and Oysters guide. Details in the show notes.
thank you for giving us the tea on your London experience and just everything today. We're gonna wrap up with a couple of questions. First thing is wins. So, what's a recent win of yours that you want to celebrate, and a recent win of someone else in the London scene that you want to celebrate?
Oh, in the London scene. Okay. A client that I gave creative strategy, he
Mhm.
literally posted on his, and this is somebody in Ghana. He literally posted that he's opened his facility, so a whole medical facility with a whole 9 yards. And it was me going back to that post where he said, next time I gave him some, he called me, wanted to start because he's a founder of a pharmaceutical company and he was opening a medical facility, the next level, the next scale up from his pharmaceutical. And he's opened his medical facility, which has all the ecosystem of some of the things that we discussed. Because I've worked in these places for so long, I have an idea of if you do not want people to be frustrated and leave, these are the kind of things you should put in place so that they feel like they're going to be taken care of whilst they
Yeah.
wait. And it was nice to see the video and all the little parts that have come together. I consider
Mm,
that a win. And I signed a client who is quite big. I'm excited for both of us and I'm trying to be very cool. It's a nice way to wrap up April because we've been talking and I actually, when we started out, the person who brought us together, there was no clear communication about the service that I was supposed to offer. It was just to offer a particular service for a project. And now I'm full on management of all her creative ventures. I am grateful to God for that. And I'm excited to do that. I know.
amazing.
I'm like, it's happening. But yeah, it's fine. That's it.
Is there anyone else you want to be a cheerleader for?
Oh, my bestie. Okay. Because the Pope died a few days ago and he got married and stuff like that. And she's
Yeah.
in Ghana. She was called to moderate the live transmission for 3 days. Girl,
Okay.
that was a big. I'm like, girl, you on national TV. And she was called to moderate the whole thing, like speaking to the priest. They were streaming live from Rome, and she was in Ghana and discussing. I was like, do you know how big this is?
Amazing.
They were streaming on like 10, 15 channels. And my bestie gets to go do that. So when I tell you, I was just screaming. And I have another lovely lady who's also a very great friend who supplies physical products. And now her product is moving from Ghana to the neighboring countries where she's supplying it as well. So the girls are outside. When I say the girls are outside, the girls are outside. And it just makes me so happy because you are the sum total of the people that you surround yourself with. And
Yeah.
I have no other choice than to be incredible. Look at the people that I know, including you, who has hired an assistant and is
Thank you.
growing. Like the whole crew is doing the most. We're all thriving, and I'm so excited.
I love that. Shout out to your bestie.
Girl, I was like, girl,
And
you are outside. Like when we're
love to see it. And then to wrap up, because I always like to say, you never know who's listening. Is there anything that you would like to plug, and is there anything that you need help with?
I need, so the plug is I am doing a webinar at the end of May, right? Basically, some people know that there's some things that they need to delegate. They do not know which ones will help move the needle or how to even get about to sitting down and figuring it out. It looks like it's something you just tell somebody to do, but if you're not strategic about it, you're just going to waste your time and the person you're delegating to time. So I am doing a podcast on how to delegate efficiently for business success at the end of May. Information is being put out. If you want to follow and be a part of it, just follow my social media as the admin cure everywhere. What I need help with is for people just to share my page so that more people that are literally stressed out with tasks that they would rather not do can focus on their zone of genius, scale their businesses, or just find rest. You didn't start a business to be stuck doing it 24/7. There's a time for that. But there's a particular point where you need to know that you need support and you need help, and that would help you grow. So wherever you find my page, The Admin Cure, please share this podcast, tag anybody who needs support, and they can find me. They can get a strategy session or they can just get on and work with me. But stay tuned for the webinar at the end of May, the last Tuesday of May, and come through and let's delve into how you can delegate for business success.
Amazing. I'm going to put all of your details in the show notes.
Thank you.
Thank you so
This has
much
been
for
so much
coming on
fun.
today. People always at the beginning are like, oh, is this going to be really serious? I'm like, no.
Yeah, the
This
question,
is
I'll do my
essential.
homework. I actually pulled a notepad. I'm like, question one,
Oh,
question two.
well, it's more, the questions are a suggestion. We may get to some of them, we may not. It's just the general direction.
Thank you so much for having me, and I'm glad.
Thank you
Like,
so much.
if we met March and we're having a podcast in May, I am praying for all the success for your podcast to grow. You're doing an incredible job. I'm so proud of you. Like, from the time
Amen.
we met in March,
Thank you so much.
and girl, you're doing the thing.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening. Get in touch at coffeeandoysters@gmail.com. Stay connected at Coffee and Oysters Pod on TikTok and Instagram. And never miss out by subscribing to Substack. Details in the show notes. And most importantly, keep those 5-star ratings coming, and see you next time.